Hello Internet, and welcome back to my series of film reviews. Last time we covered Mission Impossible Fallout, and now we have officially made it to the end of our journey for Ethan Hunt and the IMF. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. This movie was originally going to be called Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 2, until Paramount announced that it was going to be a different title, and the Paramount Plus release of the previous film dropped the Part 1 in the title and just called it Dead Reckoning. Not only does Tom Cruise return one last time as Ethan Hunt, but also Simon Pegg as Benji Dunn, and Ving Rhames as Luther Stickle. And returning from Dead Reckoning, we have Peggy Carter herself, Haley Atwell, as Grace. Esai Morales is the film's main antagonist, Gabriel, who works for an AI called the Entity. That's right, folks! AI, the enemy of modern culture. Skynet has arrived and Judgment Day is upon us. Hasta la vista, baby! We also have Mantis herself, Palm Clementieff, as a French assassin named Paris, who becomes an ally to Ethan after betraying Gabriel at the end of Dead Reckoning Part 1. There's Henry Czerny as CIA Director Eugene Kittredge, who was the director of the IMF who framed Ethan as the mole who killed his team in the first Mission Impossible film, when it was Jim Phelps all along. Returning from Mission Impossible Fallout is Angela Bassett as Erica Sloan, who is the President of the United States in this movie. This is the second movie I've seen this year with a fictional president after Harrison Ford in Captain America: Brave New World, and a woman president at that, which is what we almost got with Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris. We also have appearances from Nick Offerman, Hannah Waddingham, Shea Whigham, and more. This film is a direct follow-up to Dead Reckoning Part 1, hence the word reckoning in the title. It follows Ethan and his team as they go after Gabriel and the Entity. Even though you can start anywhere in the Mission Impossible series, I definitely recommend watching Dead Reckoning Part 1 first before going into this movie. This video will be entirely spoiler-free, and I will not be making a spoiler video in the future. With that said, sit back, relax, hang on to the side of a biplane as if you were Sonic the Hedgehog on the tornado with tails flying the plane and taking down Dr. Eggman. But anyway, here's my spoiler-free thoughts on Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I don't even know where to begin. The stunt work from our very own Tom Cruise is his craziest to date, from diving into a submarine and almost drowning in the process, to a bunch of dangerous stunts involving hanging from a biplane and having multiple close calls. Somebody better want to get Tom Cruise a therapist, because I would imagine that there is a lot going on in his head when he insists on doing his own dangerous stunts. And it's also an emotional farewell to not only Ethan, but his team too. I won't spoil what happens, but you have to see it for yourself. One of my only downsides with this movie is its runtime. Nearly 3 hours long. Only 6 minutes shorter than Matt Reeves' The Batman, mind you. I've seen people on YouTube and in real life having gripes with the movie's runtime, particularly scenes that drag on for too long, like the Hawaii wedding in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, for example, making Sonic the Hedgehog 2 precisely 2 hours long. And there's one background character from the original 1996 film that makes a comeback for some odd reason. William Dunlow, played by Rolf Saxon. He was the CIA analyst in charge of looking after the vault where Ethan broke in and stole the knock list. In fact, there's a whole bunch of connections to previous entries, like the rabbit spook from Mission Impossible 3, as well as an opening montage of clips from the previous movies from the 1996 original to Dead Reckoning Part 1. So that means you have to do what Julie Andrews told the Von Trapp children when teaching them how to sing.
Let's start at the very beginning, a very good place to start.
But that doesn't mean you have to go onto Paramount Plus and binge the entire 1966 TV series. That'll be too damn long. You can do that at your own leisure. You just need a basic recap of the 1996 Brian De Palma original, all the way up to Dead Reckoning. That's how you know that this really is the final reckoning for Ethan Hunt and his IMF team. Mantis was barely in the movie and hardly did much following her joining Ethan's team, and Gabriel just comes off as a generic villain, nowhere near as memorable as Solomon Lane or Philip Seymour Hoffman from Mission Impossible 3. But the biplane chase in the skies above South Africa is the best sequence in the film, although the whole Arctic submarine stunt is enough to give Sonic a fucking panic attack. When I say there's a lot of connections to the 1996 Brian De Palma original, I mean it. Not only an appearance from William Dunlow and Eugene Kittredge, but the knock list theft is brought up as well, meaning that everyone who followed the series since 1996 had to be there for this one, because it all leads up to this. This movie was meant to be seen on the big screen, just like all the other films that Christopher McQuarrie directed. I'm giving Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning a 9 out of 10. It started off slow, but it gained its momentum around the 1 hour mark, the exact polar opposite of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. It's the longest film of the franchise, clocking in at 2 hours and 50 minutes, so prepare yourselves, folks. The action is top-notch, the stakes have never been higher, and the stunts are easily the best thing about this movie. It's like the audience is right there, and is a part of the excitement, the action, the suspense, and the claustrophobia when it comes to Tom Cruise doing underwater stunts, and airplane stunts that he learned from Top Gun. And after watching that biplane chase, I definitely want to put on Top Gun again. Mostly to pay respects to Val Kilmer, but also because it's one of the best 80s films I've ever seen. and I've decided that I will review Top Gun on my channel, but I'm not sure when yet, so hold on to your hats! So do I recommend this movie? Yes. Yes I do. But is it my top favorite entry in the whole series? No. No it's not. Fallout remains my favorite, but The Final Reckoning is an exciting and emotional send-off to Tom Cruise's most iconic character since Pete Maverick Mitchell in Top Gun, Jerry Maguire, and lots more. And if Ethan Hunt were ever to get into a fight with John Wick, it would end in a draw! I'm glad I chose to accept this mission to review every Mission Impossible movie on this channel, but my next mission, which I will gladly choose to accept, is to take a look at the next live-action Disney remake of Lilo & Stitch coming soon. This video will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Until then, I'll see you all next time.